Hey everyone, this is guitar number 2 for Moonlight Sonata. And frankly, you're doing literally all the harmonic movement. It's an amazing lesson, actually, to tell you the truth. I might use it for my theory class because it's a great introduction to good voice leading. From one chord to the next, finding the next closest note and what to do to make sure that you're not moving very far. Amazing, it really is. And so I think your part is the most important in terms of the structure of the piece of music. It's the entire harmonic soundscape of the whole piece. So this, to make sure that you got all these chords and everything correct, and it may be a lot to look at. And I want to tell you that these fingerings are what I used. Very few of them did I do any altering at all. So they should be followed to a T, okay? So he's transcribed this to the key of A minor. That's why A minor is such the predominant chord. And this is, as soon as someone hears this, because he starts on on the inversion of the chord, and that's it's the second inversion of an A minor. Everything is the same here for a very long time. Then he goes to this. And what's so amazing is that when it goes from the A minor, right? I'm using that. But then he goes to the F chord to B flat. Right? It's like what we call a Neapolitan 6. And then 5, A minor, A minor sus, E in third inversion, and then it's just so cool. Anyway, follow all the fingerings that are there. I don't necessarily need to show you where everything is because everything is marked for you. Maybe the best thing to do is just say, here's the measure, and this is where I'm fingering it exactly according to the music that's there. And then maybe what you can do then is you can kind of make sure that you're doing the same fingerings that I'm talking about. So in the beginning, A minor, right? Just typical A minor, starting on the 4th string. 2 measures worth. Next, it's like an F. Then it's like a B flat with a F in the bass. And then he goes to an E dominant 7. Back to A minor. Sus 2, great voice leading, and then back to A minor. Now, this chord might be a little bit peculiar or difficult for you. It's an E dominant 7, and he is fingering it 1, 4, 2. Usually what I would do in a situation like that is 1. I like my 3rd finger there, but you can use your 2nd finger. Then he goes back to A minor, like a D minor. Oh, I do see something funny there. He does this. Those fingers are okay. They're okay. Then he goes to a C major. Top part of a C major. And then dominant 7. And then C major. Into C minor. Then we have a dominant 7 chord. Okay. 5 of the A flat chord. It's an E flat chord. Then he goes to A flat and measure 12. A flat major, and he's got a descending bass. And I'm using the fingering that he's using. 3, 2, 1. Then he's got 3, 2, 1 again. That's actually reversed. It should be 2, 3, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 1. 2, 4, 2, 1. Then open D. G minor, barring the 3rd fret. Right, and then open D. And then the C. And then G minor again. Ends up being a D major chord. This. there's a funny fingering here too. It should be open on measure number, I think that's measure number 14. It's open, and then with a bar, and then you put your third finger down, it's still a bar. That 4 is incorrect. It should just be 3, 1, 1, and then 3, 2, 1, and you can keep that chord there. It's like a bar. And then back to G minor again. Then it turns into G major. And then it just goes up 1/2 step to A flat major. Part of the diminished chord. Yeah, that's the F sharp diminished. G minor again. And he's got 3, 2, 1. I would bar. Up. Back to this. That's major there. And then it's this G, B flat, and C sharp. And then it's part of an A chord. So A, open G, F is the third finger. I probably should go over that with you, that because there's no fingerings indicated there. So this is measure 20. Measure 20. What you're going to do is you're going to go to an A, and then you're going to use an open third string. Then you should use 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4 is F, A, D, and then open. A little out of tune. And then at 21. It goes to an E flat chord with a 1 open third string, and then you use your second finger on D flat. That turns it into a dominant 7 chord, and then an open and G sharp. Third finger on F natural, still G sharp. Okay, so measure 21. In the bass, but it's a D minor on the bottom. That fingering is good. 4, 1, 2, and then that's another sus chord, D minor sus, and then makes it an A chord, right where the poco retard is. And then this is a D minor arpeggio, and the D minor arpeggio on measure 23 should be, that's a hammer on the D, and then I like to hammer it with 3, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1. Okay, because that's part of a D minor chord. I like to use my D minors with a 4th finger there. Hammer first. Then it's an A chord, turns into a 7th chord. He's got a at measure 24, the C sharp is with the second finger, and then there's a 4 above an E. It's an open E. Okay, next measure is like D minor again. Then the G sharp is the first. Right, you got that. Then an E chord. And then a D natural gets added. Still G sharps. You have to be very careful. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough. You got to be very careful about keeping the G sharp all the way across that chord. Okay. Some people sometimes they look at that and they play a G natural, and because it looks like a G natural, but those chords always have to have the sharp sign continue to go through. Now I'm going to go to the next page. I've got it here on my iPad. Goes back to A minor at the top of page 2. And then it goes to the A, D, F, which is correct, and then it goes, that's a D7 sound, and it has the fingerings 2, 1, and 3. That's which is correct. And then you're on the next measure, 28, on E chords. 2 measures along. Keep the G sharp there. And then on measure 30, A minor. Okay. Oh man, the tuning. And then an A minor chord. Now, next, measure 32. That's when you start doing these arpeggios, diminished arpeggios. Okay, so you just stay in that position. The B should be with a 2. The F should be with a 3. This is measure 32. Right? G sharp is with 1. Back to the F with the 3. Open B. 4 to do the pull off on the D. Don't take the G sharp off. Okay, really important to get those notes because these are these diminished chords that Beethoven's using all over the place. Then it's an A minor. And you should play this A with your 4th finger to do the pull off. So we have and then you'll see a whole series of different fingerings here. These are all diminished type of fingerings, these 3, 1, 4s. Right now I'm on measure 34. Okay, so, and you'll see, wow, these are pretty symmetrical. A is with the 3rd finger, D sharp is with the 4th, and then I go 3, 4, 1, same string. And then what I do is I move my 3rd finger to the 2nd string, 7th fret. So it kind of looks a little bit the same. You're just doing arpeggios of the same notes. And then you do the pull off. So the biggest mistake people make is they don't keep the D sharp there. It's always got to be a D sharp. D sharp. D sharp there, okay? And then you got another one that's going to go. But you'll notice all of it looks like it's just all in one place. So you've got measure 30. These numbers are really small. 35, where you're doing 1, 3, 4. And then you just move your 1st finger up to the 1st string. Can you see I'm just kind of staying in one place? These are really good fingerings for these diminished chords. Really good fingerings. And then finally you've got this really high note here. Wow, what note is that? There it is. That's a G sharp with your 4th finger. And that's way up there. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th fret. And I'm doing 4. And then I'm doing the 3 on the 2nd string. On the 15th fret. And then on the 13th fret, the F. But what's nice about this, watch what I do with my fingers. Right? And then I'm going to move these 2 down. It's really important to keep 3-1 ratio down to D and B and D. And I do this. So I was up here. I move these down a minor 3rd. Right? And then so I'm just moving these. Finger it that way. And then we go all the way to 1st position here to finish the diminished chord. Then it goes. And when you play that G sharp, don't let the A still ring. I'm holding that fifth string so it doesn't ring. And then D, and then it's part of this B fully diminished. Okay, 2, 3, 1 G sharp, D. Okay, call that a B fully diminished. It can be part of an E flat 9 chord too, but it's probably part of the B fully diminished. Okay, and then it's going to high F's or D's, sorry. And you still got to play a diminished chord here, and that's this. So you got 4 on the 10th fret of the first string. You've got an F natural with your third finger on the 10th fret, third string. Second finger is playing on the second string, 9th fret. That's a G sharp. And your first finger is playing also on the 9th fret, 4th string. That's fully diminished. So when you do the octaves, it's good to anchor your 4th finger on the D. That's the top part of the. And then what you have is an A minor arpeggio descending off of the 5th fret. 1. He did not put down on there if he wants to stay in first position. I believe it might be better for you guys, more beneficial if you go that chord and then do an A minor down here. Open 1 and 3 like part of an A minor chord. Because the next chord is going to be a B half diminished. So all you have to do is just add that B here in the 4th. And then it's going to be part of a dominant 7 chord. You're going to get the G sharps in there. Keep the G sharps. So I have this. And then like an A minor chord, right? We got this 2 available. Then I'm going to add the G sharp. And then back to all these A minor chords. And then we got this dominant 7 chord. Back to the A minor, D minor. And that's interesting. Yeah, it's a mistake. Okay, measure 40. Gosh, you guys, it's really hard to read, but I think it's 45. Measure 45. He has E, G, B. That B is wrong. It should be a C. That's part of a C major chord. It's E, open G, C. Don't play the B. It would be the wrong note. And then you use your third finger on F, and you got the other 2 notes, G and B, open. And then right back to the 2 on E, open G, and C's. Okay. This fingering is, it's okay. A bar chord on the F and the D and the B, the F, B, and the D natural. F, B, D naturals with a bar. Back to the C chord here at 48. And then it becomes a E chord, with G sharp, D, and E, to A minor, back to the 1 and 4 and open, back to G sharp, D, E, back to A minor, 2 and 1. And then this is kind of what you're going to do now. You're going to, and so that's A, B, and F. It's an inverted B half diminished. And then a G sharp and a D. And I remember I actually put this in the recording too, so it must have been voice leading that Beethoven had. It's G sharp, D, E, and then G sharp, C natural, C, and E. And I'm pretty sure that that is correct because it's anticipating the next chord, A minor. Then it's an A major. And then it's part of a B flat chord. And it is an A against that B flat. A, 5th string open. Okay. G sharp. I would not use a 2 there. I would use a, for the G sharp, a 1. So you can bar G sharp and F. So you have the B flat chord, which is 3, 4, 1. Yes, it sounds dissonant. It's supposed to. Bar, then like an A major chord. Same chord, B flat. Bar, A. And then it goes, that's like a D minor chord. And then it's going to be the 3 is correct. That's part of a G7 to a C chord. That's E, G, and C. And then the very bottom staff of that second page, A minor. All good fingerings, G sharp, D, and E. And then a B with your 4th finger, back to A minor. Next chord, F, A, B. Open D. 1st finger on E. Back to open D. To an A minor configuration. And then to like an E chord with a G sharp. And then a D in the bass. Make sure you keep the G sharps. I know that this part, probably for a lot of people, it's going to be, and I'm sure Sean's going to hear it, that you guys are doing like G's or keeping the G's there, and they all have to keep those sharps. That's what gets tricky about reading this part. Here's the last page. You have A minor. It's A minor in 1st inversion. And it's A minor like this, and then you just put your 4th finger on the C. That E7 chord. Okay, like I said, I use my 3rd finger. 2 is probably fine. I think the reason that he's doing that is just he wants to give you a little bit more room. Then we're back to A minor. So 4th finger to A, and then open E, D, and then, you know, let's think about this. Yeah, I remember doing this. He does want to go back to the 1st string, so you will go, and I would do this with the 1st finger on the D, 3rd fret, and then you have to move to the G sharp. So that chord is with the bar, or with rather a hammer, hammering to G sharp. This is an F natural, right, on the 2nd string. This is a G sharp again, and then D natural, F natural, open B. The same thing's going to happen again. Oh yeah, that's, you know, we're going to have to check the score and see if that D is right on the other one, but this time it's a C, where it goes E, C. Probably is a C on the previous one too. Then again, it does not show a hammer, but I would do the same thing. And then an A minor chord down below. 2 and 1. Hammer to the, or rather pull off to the A. And then play your A minor standard chord. That's how I would finger it. And then you can add your 4th finger here. So it's, I'm hammering with my 4th finger. If it's easier for you to do with your 3rd, you can. And then the lowest note is an E, and the way that I make it so that the E is not ringing through, I do the next A on the 6th string, 5th fret. So my arpeggio ends up sounding like this. E ringing through. Otherwise, you're going to get this. And it's terrible, especially since I had to record this, for a CD. And then you have the A here, and then the chord that you guys have to play is up here. And I asked him, I said, do you want me to play all, 5 of those notes? And he said, it's okay if you don't play the C, 4th string, 10th fret, and just play the top notes, E, A, C, and then the bass note. And he asked me to roll it. Okay, so you don't have to go. Now, if Sean would like to add that in there, you can. You can put the C on the 4th string, 10th fret, and then basically you play all of them. Now, sometimes you could do this. You can play the arpeggio like this, and just play the 5th string, play from the 5th string down. That depends on if there's an arpeggio necessary. That works really, really well. Or you can cover these strings and make your thumb do 2 of these notes. Okay. I think the best way, though, is okay. So I was kind of, when I did the guitar number 1 and I did it with a metronome, I realized it's actually better to play along with my audio file than to try to see if you can stay in sync with me with this video. And so that's what I'm going to advise that you do. The audio file is better to play along with because you got the click and you can keep on going. The purpose of this video is to make sure that each one of these chords that I'm addressing and talking about, you've got a visual representation of where they are. Okay, so this part is really a tutorial on making sure you've got everything, and then the audio file that you play along with is what you really want to practice along with, which is at tempo. It's a slow enough piece that you can learn it that way. I would isolate certain arpeggios, the ones that are awkward, that anything that feels like it's something that you kind of have to really work with the fingering. And again, like I said, this is all the harmony. I believe the most important part. Okay? So good luck with this. Great piece.